Hello there, people of the internet. My name is Udwo Jagero, and this is Political Headache. Today we are talking about the politics of gangs and gangster politics, whereby if you don't like me, we will kick your ribs, we will escort you out of our venue, and we would not like you to be here. You remember sometimes back, Jalango, what is his name? Is it Peter Kalerwa? No, that is Babu. So sometimes back, obviously he had gone to Uhuru Kenyatta, I think. No, to Ruto. He went back to Ruto and was like he wanted to work with Ruto. He said that elections are over. We need to go back to the people and talk to the president of the day and collaborate with the president of the day on the things pertaining, development in places where we are coming from. And he's coming from a Langata constituency. And ODM was very, very pissed off about it. Actually, there was a meeting in Machakos, and you remember Jalango being told not to enter that venue, and he was kicked out. He complained bitterly about it, but nothing changed. ODM did not say anything. And then the other day, we had... is it called Peter Salasya?
Peter
Salasya was kicked out. The gentleman was just going to enjoy a game. He had a T-shirt for FC Leopards, and he was going to enjoy a game between Gabon and Kenya that we ultimately lost. Congratulations to Gabon. I think we will be doing better another time. There is a time I was in Kisumu, and I was speaking against some of the things that I think Raila has been doing there in Nyanza, and I was almost lynched. So this is what we are going to be talking about today. Can people be allowed to say things? Can people be allowed to say, okay, I don't like this idea, but I still want to remain friends with you. I want to still belong to the discourse. Joining me in the studio today is Agi. Agiolo, how are you doing?
I'm doing great today.
You watched the news. What did you think about it when you saw the gentleman being kicked out and bundled? And I think at some point he was bleeding in the mouth.
He was. It's very triggering to watch. I think this cycle of violence, when we see it, it makes us scared to engage with politics. I think it's one of the reasons why they keep it going. I think it's a big conspiracy to keep people away from political engagement, because there's people who, when they see that, they're just like, this is exactly the reason why I don't go to rallies, this is exactly the reason why I don't want to engage with politicians, this is exactly the reason why I don't, because when you go there, there's so much violence, there's people who will beat you if you say anything, really. You could say anything, and if they disagree with you, they will throw you out, right? And I don't think there's healthy political movement in a country where people are not allowed to have a conversation. And I think my question has always been, what are they scared about? What are you scared about? If you're a kingpin like Raila Odinga, what are you scared about?
Do you think that it was under the direction that Raila that he was kicked out, or how did it actually happen? Do you know the details of how it happened?
No, I don't know exactly what happened. What I know is that I saw these videos happening. So Salasya has been very vocal about political matters, and also just basically, he's also been throwing his weight around and being like, with or without Raila, I can run and succeed. And now people are telling him, no, you can't, right? So he's made several videos on TikTok. He's also a very interesting gentleman online.
How so? What do you mean by he's very interesting?
Like there's a video. This is my personal opinion. There's a video of him smoking.
What is he smoking?
I don't know. Something.
Weed.
I think maybe weed. I don't know what it is. But he's smoking, and then as he's smoking, he's like trying to tell people what his political stance is. I don't know if you take someone seriously. I just personally, it just doesn't appeal to me. But that doesn't discredit what he was saying in that video, which is that with or without Raila, he will run, and people should not act like he owns the whole world and the whole country, right? And on the comment section, it's people being like, no, you can't say that. You can't, without him, you will be nothing. Without him, there's nothing you're going to be able to achieve in your political career. And that in and of itself is a problem. So when he comes to this game, and I guess he's there to have a good time, but when you come as a politician, of course, you bring a certain energy with you, of course, people will be triggered. Again, our politics are very triggering. And I think maybe it's off of all those videos he has made, criticizing the government and criticizing Raila, that then the fans of Raila decided, no, we don't even want you
but
here.
I actually saw that it was the policemen that were escorting him out. Had he been attacked by the...
He'd already been attacked inside the stadium. Then now they were trying to get him out, but they followed him out.
So the police was actually rescuing him?
Yeah. I think do they travel with security?
No, I think policemen would likely want to rescue somebody that is being linked
in danger,
endangered or being linked.
If that person was not a member of parliament,
they would still do it. Yeah.
Okay, so they were trying to get him out, and
the policemen out of danger, essentially.
Out of danger, get him into a car, get him out. But the crowd was also very overwhelming. So what was happening, like one of the videos I saw, what was happening is like they're walking out, he's trying to, he's being like literally airlifted.
Yeah, he was being told, get out of trouble, get out of trouble, it's going to be bad, yeah.
And the people following him, what are they chanting? Aheshimu Raila.
Okay.
Aheshimu Raila, aheshimu, lazima uheshimu Raila, lazima uheshimu Raila. And they're kicking him, they're getting their jabs in. It's a very crass scene. Because what are you fighting for? You came to watch a game of Kenya versus Gabon. So at this particular point, what has triggered you? Is it that we are perpetually in a heightened political state that anything that, like, you can be triggered at any point and too violent?
Yeah, like this is for me what I've always thought, that people think that the political elite owes them anything. Mm-hmm. These people will always, it's just a chess game, sort of, that, like, for example, I ask myself, people say that, for example, Ruto is a very powerful man, or we could say that Mudavadi is a very powerful man, we could say that Ali Hassan Joho is a very powerful man, we could say that Raila, who is the subject of this discussion, is a very powerful man. But where do they get that power from? Unless you get the power from the people are the ones that always give you that power. So once they decided that we're not going to give you this power, then you are no longer powerful. And as citizens of this country, I think that we have been used a lot. And that is why I've been very, I am very apolitical, that's the word, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I don't want to be saying that, okay, I am the currency for this individual. I'm this person's currency. Yeah. So that if I stop following him, then he loses that currency. And I think that's what a lot of Kenyans have done, is to hand over their power to the political elite.
Over and over again, honestly, yeah.
So, like, for example, Raila goes to the ballots and he wants to rule Kenya. Okay, that does not go on well. He fails. Ruto takes over. And these people are still saying that this is our president, and then he goes ahead and shakes hands with the devil, quote unquote, because that's what Ruto was before everything, became what it is today. Yeah. But then now people think that, okay, now that he has gone there and shook hands with Ruto, then suddenly now Ruto is ours. And then they go there, and it was a very beautiful sight. I don't know if you saw Raila and Mudavadi, and Raila was actually sandwiched by Mudavadi and Ruto, and they were looking pretty good, like a new
at
family.
The launch?
No, at the Gabon match.
At the match.
Yeah, they were looking like a really good family. They were looking like a
family united.
Yeah, a family united. And to be very honest with you, sometimes I feel like there's something that happens to the country whenever Raila decides to jump to the side of the government. There's some sort of calmness that comes upon the country. Yeah. Like that you cannot take away from every time that Raila joins government. There's just some calmness, suddenly this president is going to Kondele, suddenly this president is going to Siaya, suddenly this president is going to wherever. There's just some beauty. The Luos are happy, they are smiling, Guinea Marwa, and all sorts of things.
That's very interesting that you bring up that point, and I think it's important for me and you to talk about it because we are Luos. What is that about? Because I don't know. I don't know if I've been on this alive on this earth long enough to understand all the nuances and intricacies of Raila as a person. But I just wonder what makes such a figure where just with one move, like now people, have we been brainwashed? What is happening? Why is it that a sitting president cannot come to a country that he is ruling without the sign off of someone who's not in the government?
I think this is starting from way back, because at the beginning of Kenya's independence, we had very two powerful individuals. That is the vice president then, that is the father to Raila Odinga, Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, who was basically representing the larger western region, and mostly the Luos. Okay. Yeah. So he was very forceful, and obviously Kenyatta did not like his advances and how he was behaving in government, because Kenyatta thought that this is my government. Yeah. But Jaramogi Oginga Odinga was like, no, this is not your government. Yeah. This is our government. We have been handed over this thing by the white man, and now everything that we decide to do, we must decide as a unit. But obviously, Kenyatta was not looking at it like that. This is mine. Yeah. I am the one that was in London. I'm the one whom they gave the white wife. I'm the one who came over here and started ruling this country. So obviously, Jaramogi Oginga Odinga walked out on the government, right? And I think he was the first vice president to resign in this country. And then he became just such a huge figure in Luo land. Like, this is the person that is going to take us Canaan. And when you remember, Raila has been talking about going to Canaan. Yes. This Canaan was started by his father, of us going to Canaan.
I did not know that.
It was his father. In fact, it is his father that did not want. It was his father. Actually, it was his father that said that we are going to save Kenya. We are going to save Kenya from the claws of Jomo Kenyatta. That was the fight.
Oh my days.
Until he died. And then you remember Raila came out at some point Raila actually differed with his father on different political conversations. And then his arrest, obviously, several times, and he was very forceful. Whenever he came out of prison, he was telling Moi to his face that this is not your country, you're not going to do anything. And you remember those days, the Luo land was completely ostracized. Like, there was nothing going on there.
Developmental.
Yeah, developmental. There was nothing going on there. There were no ministers coming from that end. So it was abandoned. And I think what Raila had, the way Raila positioned himself is that if we as the Luo people, if we do not take over the leadership, that we will always be in the gutters. So you sort of make these people believe that you are the one. Without you, they are always going to be in the gutters. Yeah. They will not see the light of day as far as the government is concerned. And so you keep doing that, and you really go out in the street and fight for them. Yeah. All right. You remember in 2012, he came out and told the Luos that we are going to get Moi out of government, and we are going to pick a Kikuyu to do this. Then after that,
2002.
2002, yes. Were you born then?
Yes, I was.
2002,
yes,
you know.
I was born.
And then in 2007, he disagrees. He goes back to his people and tells his people that, look, this is not where we are going. I don't think that we are going to Canaan with this old mzee called Kibaki. And he went and told them that, look, we are now going to join forces with this fellow Nilot, Ruto then. And in 2000, and they created a lot of problems for Kibaki. Kibaki was sworn in at night. You remember? That would come in. Yeah.
Yeah, that was insane.
Yeah. And Ruto was a very big force behind Raila, and some of the things that Raila did actually He was not for. He was not for doing a handshake after the 2007 general election, post-election violence. He was not. Yes, he was not for the idea that these people have taken our government. We can't shake hands with the devil. You see. And then what happens in 2013? He goes back to his people and tells them that, look, this time round we are going to take it. And then each and every time he brings together all these guys from different parts of the country, like the coastal people, like the Kambas, and he's the force that unites them.
Yeah.
So I think that is how Raila has become larger than life.
Yes.
He's not just respected in Luoland, but I think across the country, he's somebody that is really, really, really loved. So I think that's
where he gets. That's how he becomes this.
Yes, and he has got this grip on the Luo people. He has got this grip on the Kamba people. He has got this grip on the coastal region.
Yes.
Each and every there is nobody who has ever had a grip on the Kamba people like that. Every day, every day, the Kamba people have always voted for Raila Odinga. The coastal people have always voted for Raila Odinga. The Kisis have always voted for Raila Odinga. Larger part of Luhyaland has always voted for him. And he gets the Luo vote 99 point, kama ile ya Kagame.
99.99.
Yeah, you see. So he's, you know the way you have a CV on LinkedIn?
Yeah.
He has that CV.
a solid
and everybody wishes that they were Raila.
Really, do you think?
Yes, even Ruto wishes that he was,
because of the
because the kind of energy that Raila has when he goes to Luoland, let's he's a god. Ruto goes to Kalenjin land and he's not a god. Uhuru goes to Mount Kenya and he's not a god.
Yeah. I see what you mean. But the conflict in my brain is that what we end up believing as the people who support Raila, whether it's Luos or Kambas or people from the coastal region, what we end up believing is that the most important affiliation we will have is our tribes, is our tribe and our tribes mates, right? So when I'm out there fighting, I am fighting because I'm a Luo. That is the reason why I'm fighting. But clearly Raila doesn't believe that. He doesn't, his alienation, his how he aligns himself is not about his tribe. Because we've seen him shake hands with everyone. I don't know if you saw that meme that was going around of him shaking hands over time. And they said in 2050 he will shake hands with the whoever the president will be then, who is currently a Gen Z, which was supposed to be a joke. But like just this idea that he kind of morphs depending on, you know, the political climate, and he's able to still find relevance. But he doesn't necessarily make it about tribes, because like right now his best friend is who? Ruto. Ruto is not a Luo. He has been known to shake hands with Uhuru in the last election when they were like, they're the what is it called? What did they call Uhuru? Like he was like a powerhouse, I guess, that the small guy couldn't take power from, and all of that. And they were in cahoots with each other. So he has moved around. And I have always had this question of tribe. And I think that it's a tool that has been used to keep us in this cycle of violence against each other, this cycle of distrust against each other, while the political game is not really about about tribes. It's just like, who has the power and how can I get it, regardless of where they come from. I find that very interesting.
But the truth of the matter is, who is Uhuru Kenyatta without the Kikuyus? He's a nobody. Without the Kikuyus, who is Ruto without the Kalenjin? He's a nobody.
But the point is that when Uhuru wants to broker power, yes, he will go back to his Kikuyu people and do whatever. But he'll come on the table with the Luo, the Luya, the Kamba, the politicians. When they sit, it's Kenya. We see them. When they sit together, it's all of them. We can see them from all over the place. But us, when we see,
but that's the thing. But like, for example, even when like every time they come to the table, he will probably ask how many Kalonzo Musyoka, how many fools are you getting from Cumberland? That's what he will say. I mean, there is nothing that we are going to talk about when you don't have Who are you? Yeah, who are you? Which fool are you bringing?
So you see, but I see.
For example, the only reason why Ruto got Mudavadi was because there were some lawyers that he was bringing over.
I see that.
And even when Ruto was talking with the former vice president Rigathi Gachagua, and even after Rigathi Gachagua left the government, what was he talking about?
Yeah.
He was talking about us, the Mount Kenya people.
So you see, you're making the point that when they sit around the table, they reflect all the diversity that Kenya has, right?
Yeah.
But then it's like, what are you bringing? You, what are you bringing? What are you bringing? So it's like we are the goods. We are the products on the political
for
table,
sure,
on the political trade market.
Yeah. We are the pawns that are moved around.
And I think I feel very sad that is the situation, that even we are not aware that this is a game that they're playing, that they're trying to, because the other day when we were recording this podcast, I think Casmo made the same sentiment that our politics is organized around tribe. And I don't think it should be. I don't even think that is where it should go. You
see, sometimes I don't want to blame the politician. It is not the place of the politician. It's not the person that is profiting to decide how it works.
It
is the people that are
losing.
Yes. I mean, why would I expect a politician to tell themselves that what I'm doing is wrong while they are profiting from it?
But that's why then we need to have these conversations, right? And you remember post 2007, and one of the things that was very, very important was this, I guess, figuring out how to humanize each other, figuring out like, imagine somebody in central, there were provinces that time, somebody in Central Province and somebody in Nyanza Province are just the same. Like, they are just the same people. It's like a very weird thing, but that thing had to be said. Like, when we reach a point where you have to tell people, like, you and the person in Central are like, you're just the same. You're living the same life. You're just being handed back and forth by the same group of politicians back and forth. Like, it should... Why is that not in our consciousness? Why do we not... I feel like every time an election comes, there's like a demon that takes over our collective consciousness. And suddenly, before, I was just in Nairobi, I was just a Kenyan, I was just a person working every day, working hard, trying to make ends meet, blah, blah, blah. Suddenly, now, I am super, super aware that I'm actually a Luo and my name is Anyango.
Yeah.
Now I need to figure out where and I'm like, at what point do I then get to listen to actually what's on the table for common mwananchi like me?
And you realize that during the political, the heightened political period, when the heat of politics actually bubbles and comes to the surface, you'll find that most of the time when you are in an office environment with different tribes, those conversations are very moot and they're very difficult to have, and people do not want to come actually out and discuss politics. I've seen a lot of my Kikuyu friends saying that I don't want to talk about politics because then you are a Luo and they don't want to offend you.
Yeah.
As a Luo, you don't want to talk about politics because they are going to offend you. So I think that one of the problems that also is happening is that it is the politics of us against them.
Against them, yeah.
Yeah. So
very
when
divisive.
every time we are having an event, elections, it is the Luos against the Kikuyus, or it is the Kikuyus coming together with the Kalenjins and then pitting themselves against the Luos, or any other person that has come and is revolving around the Luo. So I think that is what is happening, and I also think that the problem why this is happening is that people have been so much impoverished to the point that they have nothing else to do but to cheer for the people that are coming from their backyard. So that is what is happening. So all I have to do, for example, in Nyakach, it is so dry. The fish is gone from the river. The papyrus that they used to cut down and plate and go sell to the market is no longer there. So what they do is that they sit under a tree and cheer Raila and hope that he wins, and then when he wins, that he's going to erect taps from where they're going to get milk and honey. And we all know that that is not going to happen. My father used to be a big cheerleader for Raila Odinga. He died some several years ago. Raila is still in the field, you know. There are so many people who cannot go to the hospital, but they are busy cheering Uhuru Kenyatta or Ruto at this particular point. There are so many Kambas who are dying of hunger in Cumberland, but what they are doing is cheering Kalonzo Musyoka and looking at him walk his German Shepherd dogs along the streets of Nairobi.
That's insane.
Yeah, and you think that this person that is walking 6 German Shepherd dogs, that one is costing 60,000 to take care of in a month, has got you, is thinking about you. They're not thinking about
because
you.
Because he's a Kamba, because he happens to speak the same language
and then
as you.
Alias and Joe that has been having this maritime kind of contract for a very, very long time, and you think that this person is on your side. They are never going to be on your side.
Why are we not saying that?
Yeah.
We need to say that more. And I don't know. And I think, I don't know what it's going to take.
But then when you tell people that, they get angry.
Yes, but that is actually, and that is where it's at.
And that is why... And
I think we need to ask people, so what are you angry about?
And that is why they kick out Salasya. Because Salasya is, what essentially he's doing is shaming Raila Odinga.
How is it shaming Raila Odinga?
It's like
saying that, no, you won't...
It's like when a big guy comes and breaks your mother's pot, you berate your mother.
Because now I can't fight the big guy.
So you berate your mother. That's what's really going on.
Are we in like a psychological hold? Is it because when we... So I'm thinking about like the last election. So this is like a very interesting story that has stuck with me. So I went home, obviously, because at that point, you know, I'm a Luo.
Yeah.
So I go back home to vote in case anything happens and I am stuck in Nairobi. Let me go get stuck with my people.
You thought that it was going to be that insane?
I mean, you just don't know. Like since 2007, like my brother will call me and be like, uko wapi? Ebu come home now.
Yeah.
You know, and I pack my things and I go home, right? And we have the election and everything. So you remember the wait? Like we were waiting for results to be announced for days on end, and there was choirs and everything. And that race was very tight, right? And then eventually, I don't know, like maybe 5-6 days later, Ruto is announced president, right? And that essentially means Raila has lost. And so my brother, one of my older brothers tells me, we need to go outside and see what's happening. And it's not like I didn't want to go, but I was like, why? Why should we go? Like, we've been down this rodeo before. Raila has lost many times in my adult life. Like, this is not the first time. It's not going to be the last time. And what he told me was very interesting. He was like, no, you know, it's easy for you to distance yourself from this pain, but you need to go see it.
See what exactly?
Witness the pain that people feel. Right?
On the streets of Kondele.
On the streets of Kondele. And I was like, okay, great. Because I was curious. I was like, because I've never even been allowed to go outside because things might go bad. But I was like, great, let's go. So we walk. So I'm walking. It's my brother and some of my family members. We are walking along that bypass towards Kondele to see what's happening. And I kid you not, the air was full and thick with grief. Like it was like there was something like, you know, I don't know if you visited a home where they have like experienced such a deep loss and you can just feel the weight of that loss. That was what I felt that day. People were not even being violent or anything. People were walking quietly. People were whispering. It was so strange to me. I was like, what happens? Like when you go home, then what happens? Do you sit down across from your children and what do you tell them?
And it creates...
What do you tell your children? It creates a trauma.
We have always had a very serious political trauma, especially coming from Luoland, because of those, a series of losses that as the Luo people we have had.
And then a few days later, you remember, after the president and the deputy president, then Rigathi Gachagua, Rigathi said something to the tune of, the people who did not support us will not be taken care of. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah.
Like us, we are with our people.
This is a company.
And that moment followed me. Like as I watched that man give that speech, I was like, is this what people are scared of? Is it true? Like,
are you a typical Luo that really gets that really receives this pain, that really gets this pain?
I wasn't feeling it, so I was like an observer. I was like a third party.
But you traveled to Kisumu to have Raila be president.
No, I traveled to Kisumu because
you were going to vote for him.
I was going to vote
for him.
I was going to vote. I am not going to.
You can't say on a podcast that you voted for Raila.
Why not?
You can say that you voted for Raila.
Okay. I went to vote. I went home to vote. But I didn't feel the weight of that loss the way I was experiencing it outside. Like when I went outside, it was like there was a different air than what I was. I was bummed. I was like, in the house we were like, maze tupike ni chipo tukule.
Yeah.
We take the sadness away.
For
me, my family.
For me, the sadness has been people that are around me.
Yeah, so there's a lot of sadness. Obviously, when you're in Kisumu and Raila loses, there's a lot of sadness. Yeah. But I've never experienced it to that height.
Even when I do not support Raila Odinga as a person, everybody around me always support him. Everyone around me.
Yeah.
So sometimes you want to even insulate yourself and say that, all right, I'm not going to feel anything. But when there is sorrow all over you,
what do you do?
It sneaks.
So are people scared?
It sneaks in. It's that we are always, can't we reach this canon? It's just
it's like we are not reaching the promised land.
Because you remember,
we're just going like this.
We remember even when Raila was going to vie for the AU chair, every Luo was like, we are gonna be bigger than what we've always even gone for.
What is that about?
We are gonna be the president of Africa. Look, listen. And then the press has always also tried to take this head and gonga it against the other head. They've always really loved the way we play our politics and how the press, like when the AU, when we were live in Addis Ababa, what was the reason for erecting big screens in Kisumu to watch Raila fail?
What is that? Again.
You know?
It's a trauma.
Yeah, and Raila is always leading until he loses. He was leading in Addis Ababa. He has always led, you know. So
is it a curse? What's happening?
It's I don't think it's a curse in a that way, because I think the Luos should always be very happy that they have the strongest political person in Africa. Mm-hmm. You know?
Should they be happy about that?
It's
we can take pride.
As a Luo, I take pride in Raila Odinga.
You can take pride
in Raila Odinga for some of the things that he has done.
Yes, that is true. I mean, I think I feel the same way.
Yeah, he's been such a beacon of hope.
Yeah.
But therein the hope lies, hopelessness.
The good comes with the bad.
Yeah. So we can be, as Luo people, we can be proud to be having the most important man right now, because we can say that Ruto will go out and Raila will still just be dancing in that theater, in that arena. He will be there. Ruto,
people come and go.
He fought with Uhuru, a bruising 10-year battle.
Yeah.
Back and forth, cat and mouse.
That was an insane.
Who knows about where Uhuru is right now? Mm. Whether he's sleeping.
He said he's at home.
Where he's in Gatundu. Whether he's in Gatundu. Whether he's going to Congo to do that shitty thing they always do after they have been ousted as president. Mm. Raila is seated with Ruto at Nyayo Stadium, sandwiched by Mudavadi in white attire. Mm. Having the best.
Yeah.
Time of his life.
Yeah.
Everybody else that to see him is out in the cold. That guy, that Kikuyu MP, what is his name? That crass guy that had a problem with his leg. I don't know. What was his name?
Moses Kuria.
Where is Moses Kuria?
Yeah.
Where are all these guys? Where is Matiang'i?
Yeah.
I mean, they are all gone. Raila is gallivanting.
He's still in the game.
He's still in the game.
I find that very interesting. I want to think about it in how do we change the ideas of how we engage with Raila as a man. And I like the way you have delineated those two things, that like it's one thing to have pride in the son of the land. You're like, he's the son of the land in many ways. But then at the same time, there's all these things that it comes with. There's all this trauma that we have carried in our bones because we have watched this thing happen over and over and over again.
Yeah, we need political therapy.
That is true. I am not kidding you.
We need political therapy.
Because think about it, generation after generation after generation after generation, all of us have just been like waiting, and we've never breathed. It's like you breathe in and then you hold your breath. You'll die. You'll die. You need to keep breathing in and out, keep breathing in and out. But I don't know how we de-escalate the situation so that we can engage politically from a point of, I don't know, from our brains rather than from our hearts. Like, I want to think about that situation in Kondele where I'm like, these 5 guys that I know, or these guys that are very sad, and I ask them, what is this about? I want to have a conversation with you about like what actually has happened to you.
I think fundamental is just a relationship that you'd have with there is a relationship that you'd have with your girlfriend. There's a relationship that you'll have with your wife. There's a relationship that you have with your husband. But at some point, it becomes very toxic.
You think it's a toxic relationship?
It's not completely healthy.
It's not.
Yeah, it is not. It's not good for us. It's not completely healthy, and there are symptoms out there for everybody to see.
And I think this goes for everyone.
Yeah.
This goes across the country. I think we are just using Raila as the example, but this goes for everyone.
It is, but you see, the other tribes are always they easily drop people. Like they
don't have as much attachment.
No,
as
they dropped Uhuru like a hot potato.
Yeah.
They dropped him. I mean, Kalonzo is not really respected in Cumberland like that.
Yeah.
He's not going to pull a huge crowd in Machakos. No, he's not going to do it. Matiang'i is not going to pull a crowd in Kisii that way. So those relationships are there, but I think this one of ours is a bit, we need to interrogate it a little bit, go for political therapy, and find something to do, grow our Sukuma Wikis.
Find work.
Yeah, grow our rice.
Maybe, yeah.
And also think about the county government.
Yeah.
All these things were brought. The county government. One of the things that we brought, the reason why we brought the county government in place is to sort of pour some cold water in this kind of political climate. And say that you can also look up to Nyong'o for once.
Yeah, try somebody else.
Hey, look up to Nyong'o and deal with your county government. Talk to Ranguma. I don't know whether they are the one in Siaya or Rengo. Have some conversation, town hall meetings with the Rengo there, and forget about this national politics that we are so much.
For our second.
Anyway,
try.
Yeah. So. Thank you very much, people. Are we finishing, or you have got something else to do?
I think we are.
Say?
That's a good place to end on. We need political therapy. Yeah, there's a lot of trauma. Yeah.
We need political therapy, and who would not want to be like Raila Odinga? Everybody wants to be like Raila Odinga. Even the people that
he's a monumental
figure, hate him
the
most want to be like him. Somebody
you love to hate him, and you hate him.
I would like to be in the position of Raila Odinga, where I can control all the Luos and all the Kalenjins. I would be there.
Do you think? Let me ask you a question about Raila. Do you think he's happy and content as a person?
No, I don't. It is difficult for a human being to be contented as a person. You're always looking for the next high, and I think Raila's
what
always.
What is the other high?
The other high. Raila just had a high of the AU the other day.
Yeah, but he's seen it all.
Yeah, he's seen it all. But you see, as long as you're alive, you're always chasing those highs. I mean, there's a
place for ambition.
People even still send guys to go kill others, and they're on the deathbed in a hospital.
What is that about?
Yeah,
humans are so strange.
It is just human.
And humans so strange.
Yeah.
I wonder. I mean, I hope he's at peace with the life that he has lived.
Yeah, he has lived the best life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Thank you very much, people of the internet. That was Political Headache. If you please follow our page. If you want to come here and discuss with Agiolo, please come. If you want to come here and discuss with Agiolo and myself, Udul Jagero, please come. Please leave a comment. Tell us what you think about the politics of bullying and kicking people's ribs. Tell us what you think about it, and please subscribe to our channel. Follow us on our social media pages. And until another episode, bye for now.